you were known as Mr. Balboa Park.
But it was prompted by you making me fall in love with that place from such an early age. And it just became truly an ideal job.
And only the second ranger in the city's history that had his badge retired.
The story I might be most famous for as a ranger, though, was early on in my career. We had a famous botanical building, and one of the jobs of the park rangers was to shoo everyone out and tell them the building was closed. So I went through making all the announcements. Okay, we're closing. Everybody needs to get out. Thank you for being here. That night, I turn on the television set, and hey, they're having a live weather report, as they often did from Balboa Park. And my wife noticed that there were two ladies waving their arms frantically over the shoulder of the weatherman. And she said, "Is there a special event going on tonight?" And I go, "Yes, it's the early festivities for my firing, which is going to take place tomorrow." I locked them in the building, apparently, and I drove just as fast as I could. They've been locked in this building for 4 solid hours, and I came over just expecting every expletive in the book to be hurled my way. And they both turned around and said, "Are you closing?" And I said, "Yeah, I thought I would." And they said, "Well, this has been one of the best days of our lives. We feel like we've had this whole place to ourselves. In fact, we kept waving for people to come in because we thought this is so beautiful. Other people ought to see it." They had no idea that they were locked in. And I felt really no reason to disabuse them of this. And I go, "Well, that's wonderful." I also felt no compelling need to share any of this information with any of my bosses. And I didn't for years and years and years.
But probably the first month you became a ranger, you saved someone from jumping off of the large bridge that goes into the park. And that wasn't the only time.
Most people that are out on a bridge, if they're contemplating and they're looking around, it's probably because they're just feeling desperate or they just want to have a conversation. One time I went out and I engaged this distraught middle-aged woman in a conversation. And at one point, she sort of offhandedly said, "Oh, is that Stephen?" And Stephen was driving a city truck. "Do you know Stephen?" And she's like, "Yeah, I was a gardener here." I just remember saying, "Well, gosh, Stephen would be really distraught if he knew you were up here. Do you know Emily?" "Oh, yeah." "Oh, well, gosh, I'm sure she wants you to be safe here." And it was sort of like, It's a Wonderful Life. All these people know about you and care about you, and they want you to go on living. And about a year and a half later, I got a really wonderful letter from her that said that she was doing fine now. And that was a really satisfying moment.
I want to say how proud I am.
Boy, I feel like I've brought along a publicist and not my mother here. That's really sweet of you to say. My life has just been something I'm so thankful for, and it's just been so wonderful.